One station making history every day.
My sweet home, Chicago.
Now, John Cass.
89 WKRS.
'89 WS, 10:07, 7:10. Lauren Cohen, John Cass here. Lauren, what we have now is a guest Chief Deputy Whip of the Congress, Peter Roskam of Illinois, the Republican, and he had the courage to vote against the the brokered fiscal cliff deal. And I'm pleased to have him on the air. Mr. Roskam, are you there? I guess not. Well, anyway, what else is going on, Lauren, while we wait for Mr. Roskam?
Well, the reason we brought him on is because we just had the
Here
big...
we go.
Oh, there you are.
Now?
I'm with you.
Did John Boehner let you out to talk so that you could be a conservative?
It's good to be on with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on with us. I don't think people understand that, but they should know that you voted against the Speaker to support your principles on fiscal cliff and fiscal irresponsibility, and I congratulate you for that.
The end of the year fiscal cliff deal was miserable all the way around. And it's like a lot of these situations where you're looking at a series of bad choices because we're a divided government, and Barack Obama and the Senate Democrats are just completely committed to spending. And on that fight at the end of the year, they had the benefit of this automatic tax hike going up, and they played that to their advantage. Now, I think the president has completely oversold that deal, and he's created the impression on the part of to a lot of Americans that, look, there's enough revenues now to make all these problems go away, and all you got to do is tax some rich people, and everything's going to be great. And, of course, that's a complete failure. It's not holding up. And even now, the president is coming back looking for more money. So,
well, you knew that was going to happen, right? Pardon? You knew that was he boiled the rich down to and leaving only gelatin. And now to get real money, he's got to go after the middle class to spend and spend.
Exactly. And it's all middle class. That's where the action is. And so there's a lot of folks at the end of the year. I mean, they looked at their first paycheck this year, and the payroll tax went back up. And they're like, hey, no, I was told that my taxes were going to go down. No, this is all part of the long-term plan. And I think what's interesting is the comparison between the way the state of Illinois is governed down in Springfield and that whole disaster down there, and what national Democrats are doing is it's the same thing. That is, pursue revenues, don't deal with the underlying cost drivers, these programs that are going broke, don't deal with them, put the head in the sand about it. And what does Illinois have? Higher than average unemployment, almost more per capita debt than any state in the union.
Were you reading Congressman, were you reading my column that I haven't even written yet for Sunday? I mean,
that's it, right?
Come on.
It is so, so it is the worldview of this White House that you can borrow and spend your way into prosperity. Now, here's what we're trying to do. There's 3 events that are happening, not simultaneously, but now they're being resequenced. And the events are these. Sequestration, which is real. What's known as the continuing resolution, that's at the end of March. That is when the government runs out of just spending authority at the end of March. And then the next debt ceiling deal. So what we tried to do is to say, a big part of this problem is Harry Reid and the Senate Democrats, and all they're doing basically for 4 years is sitting back, criticize. They don't come up with their own budget. The last time the United States Senate had a budget was the day Rod Blagojevich was indicted. Now think about all of the stuff that's happened between that time and now. So this new bill, no budget, no pay, is real simple. It says if a House of Congress does not pass a budget, that they're not going to get paid.
Well, that leads me to this next question, and that is then what kind of retooling is there going to be in the Republican Party so that we do see some spending cuts?
Well, so if you look at the Ryan budget, for example, the country has seen what the GOP will do if you give the GOP the White House and you give the GOP a majority in the United States Senate. And this is the budget that we enacted. We were told, oh, if you pass this thing, you're going to lose your majority in the House and Nancy Pelosi is going to be Speaker. Instead, we ran on it and returned with the second biggest House majority since World War II. So the challenge is you're in divided government right now. So the country essentially was of two minds in some way. They said, we like a check and balance Congress. We really do, as a restraining influence on what the president is doing. But they gave Barack Obama, 4 more years, which doesn't make it easy to try and get to balance. But it does mean that we can be a restraining influence and try and refashion some of these things. And I'm telling you, Lauren, the first step is to get the Senate to pass a budget.
I would suggest, respectfully, conservative to conservative, that the first step is getting the Republican House in order and the Republican Party in order. I know what the Democrats. I know what the Democrats are about. They're about taking my money, spending it on their friends, and making big government. The Republicans, and you stood up against that trend, and I congratulate you. But what bothers me is that the country should look at Illinois to see how Republicans have operated here. We've got Bill Cellini in prison. We've got George Ryan in prison. These are symbolic elements of the big spend, combine, let's make a deal with the Democrat politicians. And I wonder if you think that maybe we should be looking here as well.
Well, I guess there's two things that come to mind. The first is that half of the Republican Congress has basically been there 2 terms or less. So what's happening is you're seeing more and more citizen legislators who are stepping up and they're saying, I've never run for office before, but this place is ridiculous. I'm going to show up. And they were largely provoked into running, John, based on Obamacare and the stimulus bill,
and the Tea Party,
which they thought was ridiculous. So the way the Constitution works is people are given the authority to make these choices. And what heartens me is actually the caliber of people that are now showing up saying, I'm running for Congress. And now we just sworn in 35 new members on the House side. And these are people that are committed to do something as opposed to be just trying to be somebody.
I understand, Congressman.
And there's a brightness to that. Now, to your point, look, Illinois is a laughingstock. I mean, the state has become, unfortunately, a punchline, and it's a great state that we all love, and it's got all this potential. But we are being ravaged, basically, by the states around us that are run by good Republican governors in Wisconsin and in Illinois. I mean, Indiana and Michigan and Ohio. All of these governors, Republican governors, have been making tough choices. We just swore in, Mike Pence, the new governor of Indiana.
Congressman, we'll have to let you go and carry this debate. I'll call you later this afternoon to ask to get more answers to that question.
Coming on.
Thank you so much.
I'll talk to you guys.
All right. Peter Roskam, 89 WLS. More after that. 89 WLS, Lauren Cohen, John Cass. We're here, and just so you know, this is our 89th year entertaining Chicago. Thanks for listening and for choosing Chicago's talk leader, 89 WLS. Lauren, what did you think of Peter Roskam's commentary?
Well, I don't think he really wanted to talk too much about what we're going to see in the future of the Republican Party. Right. And I think that was the question that we're asking this morning is what is the future of the Republican Party?
Because we know what the Democrats are about, right? Mm-hmm. In Illinois, we've got George Ryan in prison, governor of Illinois. You've got the real boss of the Republican Party, Bill Cellini, big Bill Cellini, boss of Springfield and all, going to prison. George is coming out. Bill's going in. They're going to pass they're passing like ships in the combine of Illinois. We've got Jerry from Algonquin on the phone. Jerry.
Yes.
What do you think, what's going to happen to the future of the Republican Party? given that?
There has to be some drastic change. The direction is not good. We've overspent and borrowed as nearly as bad as the Democrats. I did have a question on the pay suspension. So if they're going to not pay these people, are they just going to, or if the budget doesn't pass, are they going to just pay them later, hold their money, pay them later, or just keep their money?
Oh, you mean the deal, the business that Paul Ryan was talking about, which is until we pass a budget, nobody gets paid. You know what? I think that's a way to symbolically show, hey, we're on board here.
Right, we're working towards it, but that's not going to happen.
I don't know. It's nothing that I would put past the other side. I mean, Cleanface, what's his name? Cleanface from Nevada? I'm sorry, Harry Reid. I don't know who was calling him Cleanface. Some guy from Kansas City once, I think. But maybe it wasn't him. Anyway, so Harry Reid, I wouldn't put that past him to play that kind of stunt. I don't know. The Republicans have to, I think, Lauren, and thanks, Jerry, for your call. I think they have to acknowledge. Let's look at Illinois. All these national Republicans, national talk show hosts, they don't know their butt. They don't know what they're talking about sometimes. They got to look here in Illinois. They look here in Illinois for Obama's antecedents. Look here for your problems too. Big Jim Thompson, Big Jim Edgar on the white horse, like the guy on the white horse on the wedding cake, Mm-hmm. And who's the horse? Bill Cellini, who's going to prison. You've got all these people who spent us into disaster, and now they're going to blame Madigan. Of course, Madigan deserves blame. But Tom from Geneseo, tell me about it.
John, Lauren, just wanted to let you know, Congressman Roskam mentioned Ohio, but he didn't mention Iowa, which is a Republican governor, Republican legislature. They have an over $800,000 $800,000 surplus. They've got enough money to operate on. They're talking about possibly giving each and every person, every taxpayer in Iowa, a $750 rebate.
Nice. Can we get that?
Well, no.
I'd like. How about maybe?
No, there's somebody in Springfield that's got all that money.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to ask Mike Madigan and Jim Thompson. Maybe Jim Thompson could give everybody in Illinois one of his little antiques, because you like to collect antiques. We're going to get back to more of your calls. 591-8900, 89 WLS. Lauren Cohn, John Cass. Back after this.
When news breaks, be the first to know. Text BREAKING to 68683 and get up to the minute updates right on your phone. 89 WLS.
John Cass, Lauren Cohn, 89 WS. Lauren, this evening we're starting the weekend off, and I know that Lauren and I will be riding our donkeys home from the pub. In the meantime, we've got Sean of Elwood Park. Sean, you're on line too.
Excellent interview, and I love that Roskam guy. But the problem was he didn't say he's only one of 6 Republicans that didn't vote for the increase. So the problem is the other ones that did vote for him, because you're going to be left with what we have in Illinois here are the Republicrats. You got that girl that looks like Beaker from the Muppets. What's her name? Radonio. You got Radonio, and this chick, she's as good as the Democrat. She's as useless as a treadmill in Rosie O'Donnell's house, and that's what we have representing us. And now they're going to shiver that he introduced this bill where they're not going to get paid. I don't think they should get pensions. I still can't understand how they all get all these ridiculous pensions and they retire with their inside trading rules. They retire as if they were actual capitalists, the whole time taking us closer to socialism.
Thanks, Sean. I think, Lauren, what do you think? Shouldn't all the politicians, Republicans and Democrats who made fortunes over the last 30 years, shouldn't we just basically take their money? Wouldn't that be fair?
Take their money, John.
Yeah, take their money. Give it back. They made fortunes, these people.
I just want some money.
You know what? We can't shame them. They're beyond shame, but the rest of us aren't.
Yeah, this is a new idea.
It's an old idea.
It's an old idea, but it's becoming a new idea today on WLS was we're talking about fat shaming as the answer to obesity.
Can you shame people into proper behavior? The ancient Greeks thought so. The Egyptians, the Etruscans. I think I just made that up about the Etruscans, just like Bruce.
I'm shaking my head.
You know, I don't know, but we're going to have a bioethicist on to talk to us about shame and how to get people to do things you want through shame. That's old school. That's not hugs and, self-esteem. Shame works. This is John Cass, Lauren Cohn, 89 WLS. More after this.